everyone. Happy Tuesday. My name is LaShana West, and I am a part of the ParentPorch team. I'm a business therapist and mindset coach, and today we are talking about self-awareness when it comes to being stress aware, okay? Because it's two-part. Self-awareness is key with everything, but in order to be aware about how stress is impacting you, you got to be self-aware, right? So it is a terrific Tuesday. Before we get started, I would love to know, what are you grateful for? Let me know in the comments. Comment below, comment below, comment below, comment below. So many times we immediately start talking about what's not going right for us, what we need to be doing. But what if I told you that we need to be more self-aware of when we need to give ourselves more praise? And believe it or not, most stress is self-imposed. Most stress is self-imposed. How, LaShana? Because we will put so much on our plate, and then when it doesn't happen or doesn't when it doesn't come into fruition, we're like, well, I suck, or I failed, or I didn't do a good job. And that's not true. You are doing a good job, right? My question is, are you 1% better than you were yesterday? Yes, you woke up, you took a shower or a bath, you brushed your teeth, you got the kids off to school, you took a deep breath, you did something for yourself, you set boundaries, right? You read a book for pleasure, you walked up the stairs instead of taking the elevator. All of that counts. And so when we think of stress awareness, number one, we can cut a lot of that fat by giving ourselves grace and being aware when we're not being kind to our mind. For example, oh, I'm fat, I'm not pretty, um, no one wants to invite me to the party, or I didn't get that job. Okay, what's positive about that? I'm working on my wellness journey. I am beautiful inside out. I put my name in the hat. Now they know who I am. Drop me a 2 in the comments if that's making sense. So I need to start seeing glass half full versus glass half empty. So this is Stress Awareness Month, and I want to challenge us all to pay attention to our body. For example, I'm just gonna call myself out, right? I'm tired. So you can see that my eyes are like a little low. So as I'm looking at myself, talking to you guys, I'm like, girl, you need to get some sleep, girl. You was up too late watching Netflix last night. Right? Whatever it is that I was doing, being self-aware that the body keeps a score. So if you are having pain ailments, headaches, fatigue, increased hunger, decreased hunger, irritability, things of that nature, that is your body saying, doodle, 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 alert, alert, abort, abort, like red flag, flag on the field. And also, guys, when I get tired, I start getting goofy. So forgive me now. Um, the body will tell you when you need to chill out. The body will tell you when you need to do something for yourself. And I'll be honest with you, I'm all about proactivity versus reactivity. And I actually want to share something with you guys. So let me bring it up. I'm all about proactivity versus reactivity. So, with that being said, how can you pay attention to your body before your body pays attention to you? Woo-wee. Come on now. That was a bar. All right, so I want to give you a couple like formal updates about self-awareness. So April 2025 is Stress Awareness Month, actually National Stress Awareness Month, a time to raise awareness about the impact of stress on mental and physical health. It's a reminder to prioritize stress management techniques and promote healthy coping mechanisms. So, in order to prioritize stress management techniques, what that means, guys, is that stress is not going to go away. There's no promise where, oh, I'll never be stressed. You can get stressed driving, you can get stressed on hold, waiting on the doctor to come back to the phone so you can make your appointment. You can get stressed online seeing all this information come across your screen, and now maybe you're fear mongering, or maybe you are comparing yourself and feeling imposter syndrome. Stress doesn't go away. The biggest thing is stress management. How do you manage those emotions? So it says here the purpose is to highlight the purpose of managing stress for overall well being and learn strategies to cope with stress and recognize the impact. So, what I want us to do is talk about um, coping. At the end of the day, coping skills are the things you choose to do to address XYZ. So, I'm actually a certified parenting coach. And when I was working with parents and helping them with their kids' negative behavior, we always talked about, do they have any coping skills? Because if little Tommy's throwing a tantrum, what can he do instead? If little Tommy's kicking and huffing and puffing, what are the coping skills? What are the other options? Taking a deep breath, counting to 10, asking for time alone, right? And so I want us to even ask ourselves as parents, what are our coping skills? Sometimes it's drug, sex, and rock and roll. I won't hold you, right? I'm being facetious, but really not. And we have to have some healthy coping skills. Like, for example, you're gonna always see me with the water cup. Number one, it's probably the feel of it. Like, oh, I just love how it feels. I love how it sparkles. But the biggest thing is, number one, I enjoy drinking water, and water's, I'm not gonna say it's a coping skill, but it's more so helps me to stay hydrated, right? And so, what else could be a coping skill for you? Is it a rubber band that you keep on your arm so you don't continue to pick at your skin or twirl your hair? Like, there are different hacks for different people. And so, you got to have your own coping skills. I remember when my daughter was younger, she's 22 now, but when she would be in her tantruming stage or her just bratty adolescent stage, instead of me responding impulsively and spazzing out, crashing out, as the young kids say, I would do this, like turn my head like I'm cooking or like I'm doing something else and take a deep breath. That helped to stabilize my mood. That helped me to not holler, scream, curse, or do something that was inappropriate, right? Because I'm gonna be honest with you. No parent wakes up and says, I'm going to abuse little Samantha. Child abuse and unfortunate incidents that when it comes to parenting happens because of parents being so stressed out, and they weren't able to regulate their emotions or their nervous system, and a freak accident happens, or they kind of snapped, or they lost it. They didn't wake up and say, I'm going to do this. It quote unquote just happened. And what I mean by that, take that lightly. What I'm saying is, I've seen so many different cases from, a kid's arm being pulled out of the socket because the parent grabbed them real quickly because they were stressed out or mad about something. And now you got a kid in the ER, right? And so when you think about stress management, it's way bigger than what meets the eye. And I like for us to start small. So there actually is 5 A's to stress management. I'm actually going to share these with you because I actually really, really, really like them. It says the 5 A's of stress management are a framework for tackling stress by avoiding, altering, adapting, accepting, and activating. Okay. So we're going to go through those. But before we go through those, I just want you to kind of sit and think about your own mental health and mindset toolkit to help you manage stress. Because believe it or not, y'all, like, we can't really hide it when we're stressed. It'll it'll be fast movement, or talking at a rapid pace, or checking out and not being present, right? And so no one ever wants to appear or to be perceived as scatterbrained, all over the place, not present, or not presenting themselves well. We all want to be perceived in a good light. However, if we are not careful, that can be tainted when we're stressed out and it's not being managed. And it doesn't get better, it gets worse, right? All right, cool. So, avoid. That's the first A. Minimize stressors by saying no to commitments, decluttering your environment, and prioritizing tasks. So, baby, when it comes to that one, and it's like, oh, I want to keep that, I want to keep that, but you haven't worn it in 6 months. Clutter causes stress. Clutter can make you anxious. Clutter is not healing and not flow. And mind you, I'm preaching to the choir because, like, if you look at my counter, I have all these different coffee flavors and teas and all the things that might drive someone crazy, someone who has quote unquote OCD or who's just very, very specific about their energy and their environment. That might drive them bonkers. And I'm not trying to change anyone. I'm not telling you to change anything you're doing. This conversation is for self-awareness. So I'm personally, as soon as I get off this live, will be working on my room. I said working on because it's so many clothes. I literally got to go through them and bag them up and donate them. But by me telling you guys, that's shared accountability of me sharing that I'm going to work on my quote unquote clutter. Okay. The next A is alter. Change your reaction to stressful situations by communicating assertively, adjusting expectations, and problem solving. That actually goes in alignment with the saying knowing the boundaries. You can adjust anything. If you can't do it and you don't have capacity, ask for help, ask for grace, reschedule. Some of us do not like to reschedule, or we do not like to change plans because, oh, I just don't want them to think I'm unreliable. If you're there, you're not fully present and you're stressed out, you're still not liable. You're still not reliable. Let that sink. I don't know if y'all caught that. Okay. All right. Number 3, accept. Accept that some things are beyond your control and focus on what you can change. Practice self-compassion and forgive yourself. Man, this is really good. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I did not plan to go over these. I literally just typed in Google right now, self stress awareness, and it came up, and I'm so glad I found it because they're dropping so many gems like acceptance of self. Like I said, most stress is self-imposed. So if I'm not imposing the expectations and the stress on myself, y'all, that alone takes away 50% of the stress. My favorite part about this one is forgive yourself. Whew, take a sip on that. Hello, forgiveness? Y'all, that might be a whole mindset session because that's huge. And so many of us as parents don't forgive ourselves. And forgiveness is not for the other person, it's for you, right? And not only forgiving yourself, but sometimes you got to forgive others to alleviate that stress piling up on you too of who didn't do this or who did who did that to such and such and all the things, right? All right, adapt. Change your mindset to cope with stress by shifting your focus, practicing gratitude, and finding meaning in difficult situations. Man, adapt is so good. And I love that I grew up in a military home because flexibility, adaptability, and going with the flow, that's my middle name. Number one, oh wow, this just dawned on me. It's less stressful. If I'm giving pushback because someone wants to go to Red Lobster instead of Longhorn, or my daughter doesn't want to wear the purple dress I bought her, she wants black instead. And I'm like, well, why don't you want to wear it? Well, that's not okay. That's stress. Perfect. Yes, let's go. Oh, you don't want to wear the black dress? You want purple instead? Awesome. It looks beautiful. And I know I'm like being sarcastic with it, but baby, look, come close. Pick your battles. Is it really worth the battle that they don't want to wear the purple sock? And I'll be honest with you, I'm about to share something with you guys. It's traumatic, okay? A little bit traumatic. I'll just give you a little briefing. So when I was like 4 years old, I did not wanna wear ugly things to school. And my mom bought me this ugly sweater. I could literally remember the color, the texture, the pattern. I did not wanna wear it. She got into a power struggle with me because she wanted me to wear the sweater. And I'm crying and she's hollering at me. And she did not manage her stress and she slapped me in the face right before she took me to school. Okay. And the reason why I tell you when she did it is because I'm talking about in the back seat, about to go into my kindergarten class. So I might have been 5. And don't ask me how I can remember this. I can remember because this is a traumatic event that occurred, right? I go into the school with the ugly sweater on, mind you, and I'm fair skinned and I'm light skinned, right? A handprint on my face. And that's what I mean by when I say parents don't just wake up and say, "Oh, I want to abuse little Tommy. I want to abuse little Sarah." But if your stress is not managed, you will let little things like your kid wanting to wear a certain shirt or not wanting to eat their peas that night be this big catastrophe that can literally result into something that you didn't plan for. Fast forward, I go into the school, big handprint on my face like this, and I'm still like, right? Luckily, I can laugh about it now, but it was not a laughing matter. They didn't let me go in class. They took me to the office, called CPS, and actually, my dad was in the military, so I think they called like, I don't think they called CPS. That's the only reason why they kept it in home, if you may. She came up to the school. We had to go to the counselor's office. Luckily, they didn't like press charges or call CPS and all the things. And now that's like an imprint in, I'm 42 and I still can remember it. That's an imprint in my psyche, in my brain, that my mom slapped me because of a sweater. And I already, like, not to give too many details, but she was very stressed, not addressing her mental health, not taking care of herself. And so what I want to share with you, and this is for that parent who feels overwhelmed, who feels like they just can't get a grip. The feedback and the insight I will share with you is everything doesn't have to be perfect. Give yourself grace. Release yourself from the self-imposed expectations that little Tommy can't have chocolate stain on his shirt. If it dropped on his shirt, guess what? A cute little decoration for the day, right? Now, how can I be just so not lackadaisical, but just so light about it? I can be so light about it because there's so much more that we have to deal with than the smaller things that sometimes we take and amplify. Drop me a 2 in the comments if that makes sense. And I go back and I look at the comments, y'all. So if this is helpful, or if you're like, oh my God, LaShana, I'm so sorry that happened to you for you, put it in the comments. I'm gonna see it. All right, last A, activate. Engaging in activities that boost well-being, such as exercise, meditation, and creative pursuits. Oh, I love, 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 love that. I'm all about activation, right? And it's funny because creative pursuits helps you to relieve stress. Painting, singing, dancing, creating content like I'm doing right now for you guys, building your business, researching, um, anything in pursuit that triggers your creativity. It could be cooking, cooking a new dish. That's creativity. That is how you can relieve stress. The other thing I loved about this one was exercising and meditation. So you're like, oh my God, I don't have time for that. Well, if you have YouTube, which 99.9% of the world does because you've got some Wi-Fi, turn on a meditation video, listen to it from your phone, turn on 432 hertz, meditate in silence. In regards to exercising, you can also look at videos online if you're not able to go to the gym, or if you can't afford an actual membership right now, or if it's just not in the cards. There are ways for us to be creative. Okay. I hope this quick chat about stress awareness was helpful. I did not know I was going to be sharing my resiliency story, not my trauma story, sharing my resiliency story with you all. But hey, at the end of the day, I would be remiss to withhold that specific example that occurred I'll say I'm 42. I don't know how many years ago, the 83, no, 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 37 years ago, that is still relevant today. And we have to be very conscientious of how we feel inside and out so it doesn't spill over and increase the probability that we're engaging in a behavior or in a personality that we're not too fond of or that we're not proud of. Okay? All right. Thank you guys so much. Have an amazing Tuesday. Again, my name is LaShana West. You can follow me at LaShana West on all things social. And I'll see you guys next time for our quick mindset chat.